Magic is creating the illusion that you can defy the laws of nature. This is magic.
Magic is creating the illusion that you can defy the laws of nature.
Science is the study of how the natural world works. This is science.
The Super Collaborators.
Collaboration. Figuring out how to solve problems can be challenging. Having others to work with can sometimes be better than working alone. Doing so is called collaboration. Collaboration has always been possible, but in the past, it was usually limited by your physical proximity to others. Today, we can use technology, like the internet, to collaborate with people all over the world. Working with others around the world makes you a global collaborator. Connecting with others around the world can be very helpful in solving problems. Global collaborator means that you work with other people to accomplish a task. This means you can do research, work on a project, or solve a problem together.
Global collaborators!
You might say, now wait a minute, Steve Trash. I like to work alone. Yes, sometimes I do too. I like to write magic routines and jokes all by myself. But collaboration allows the ideas, knowledge, and experiences of lots of people to contribute. It's not just your brain doing the work. It can be a whole bunch of brains. Collaboration can also help everyone see things from a different point of view. It's not unusual for others to see things very differently than you do. This is why collaboration can be so valuable. It used to be that when people collaborated, they all had to be in the same room. Now though, with technologies such as the internet, we can collaborate with people all over the world. We can be global collaborators.
Tonight only, global collaborators!
Sometimes when I can't figure out how to do a particular magic trick or make a joke funnier, I'll reach out to my network of entertainer friends. Sometimes my friend Yoshi from Japan will have a helpful answer. Sometimes my friend Pollution Monster will have a helpful answer.
Pollution!
On second thought, he's not a very good collaborator. Sometimes my friend Victoria from Australia will have a helpful answer. All this collaboration is so much easier now. I can literally collaborate with friends all over the world. Jane in the United Arab Emirates, Takandri in Mexico, Evan in South Africa, and many, many more. And I do just that. I reach out to them to collaborate. If they have a computer and can connect to the internet, we can make it happen. The internet, of course, is many, many, many computers, all connected together in one big giant network. It's probable that the computers in your classroom are connected as well. Ever heard of the cloud? The cloud isn't really a cloud at all. The cloud is a bunch, seriously, lots of linked computers or servers all over the world that are part of the internet. This allows us to store our work on computers that are outside of where we physically are. This makes it easier to work with other people because the work is easily accessed by others. It's in the cloud, so other people can get to it. There are two main types of global collaboration. The first type is where people take turns doing their part of the project. This is called asynchronous collaboration. An example of this is email messages. I write an email message to you. Then, later, when you get the email message from me, you read it. Then, even later, you send a response email to me. We're not sending emails to each other at the same time. There is a time lag between our communication. I communicate to you, you communicate to me. And there is a gap in time between our communication. This is also used with much social media. It's like a conversation, but much slower. The second type of collaboration is where everyone is working at the same time. This is called synchronous collaboration. This is kind of like being in a single room where there are a bunch of people and everyone can speak at once. Everyone collaborating can talk at once, even if they're in different places. Skype and FaceTime are examples of this. Real-time document editing and screen sharing are other examples. Good collaborators. There are good collaborators and there are poor collaborators. To be a good collaborator, you have to be able to do a few things. First, you have to communicate well. You must be able to share your ideas in ways that the other collaborators can understand. Second, you must be willing to listen. You must truly try to understand the ideas, thoughts, suggestions, and solutions the other contributors share. And you must have done the research to be knowledgeable on the subject. You have to do the research. We humans have communicated using technology for a very long time. Cavemen and cavewomen left drawings on the cave walls to communicate. It's likely that they collaborated on these drawings too. Then we humans started to rely on paper and pen to communicate. Then came the telegraph, the telephone, and the television. We now use the internet for much of our communication. It used to be that only very few people put things on the internet, and most of that stuff could only be read. It was basically a one-way street, and it was a really, really slow street. Now, almost anyone can have a website, and they can contribute to the knowledge and information found on the internet. It's a two-way street. Actually, it's more like a multi-lane superhighway, running in all different directions, all at the same time. Effective online communicators know you should be courteous. Don't leave the other collaborators waiting. Communicate clearly and make sure your other collaborators understand exactly what you're saying. You must also think about how your message will be received. Before you send it, you are sending an idea, your collaborator is receiving an idea. Is it the idea you intended? Look at these two messages. If you send the first one, it might hurt your collaborator's feelings. But the smiley in the second message makes it clear that you were just joking. It's always a good idea to pause and reread your message before you send, as if you were the receiver, not just the sender. So, here's what good collaborators do. Type, pause, reread, send. Type, pause, reread, send. Being a good collaborator also means being a good researcher. The internet has a lot of great information on it, but there's also a ton of stuff on there that is simply not true. It appears to be true, like a great magic trick, but it's not. As a global collaborator, you want to research information to confirm that it's accurate. That means it's supported by facts. Facts from many different sources. Data is, of course, just simply information. Verified data is information that has many sources supporting the same information. If you are looking for information on the internet or researching, you don't want a site that's trying to entertain you or persuade you or even give you their opinion. You want facts. You want real, verified information. How can you tell if the information is good? Here are some tips. Look to see who the author is. Websites without an author's name are rarely good sources of information. Look to see who the website belongs to. Good information is oftentimes posted by a school or a large organization. Remember, anyone can post a website. Anyone. But not everyone posts good information. Ask yourself if the website looks right. Websites with misspelled words or poor grammar are rarely good sources of information. Remember, if they didn't take the time to spell words correctly,
it's unlikely that they took the time to get the facts right.
Websites whose URLs have funny additional numbers are also sometimes not good sources of information. Look to see if the website seems to be telling the whole story. If you think there might be missing information, the site is not a good source. We are so lucky. We live in truly amazing times. We can communicate and collaborate with people all over the world. Today, there are tons of problems that need to be solved. These problems are solvable. So, let's work together. Let's collaborate and solve all those problems. You and I, we can do it. The best way to have a good friend is to be a good friend. What does this look like? Well, it's pretty easy. Just think about how you'd like to be treated by your friend. That's the way you should treat them. Keep your promises. Don't make promises that you can't keep. Be dependable. Remember, everyone makes mistakes. So apologize when you make a mistake. That's the great thing about being a friend. Apologies make a big difference because there's already trust and friendship there. Be loyal, be respectful, look out for that friend. Think of ways to be helpful. Think about ways to be kind. Think about ways to make them laugh. Think about ways to surprise them with joy. Just think about how you'd like to be treated by your friend. That's the way you should treat them. So, the best way to have a good friend is to be a good friend.
Major funding provided by Jason Isbell and Amanda Shires, Lions HR, Northwest Alabama RC&D, Keep Alabama Beautiful, Derek Thornton, Alabama Soil and Water Conservation Committee, and Lawrence County Soil and Water Conservation District. Steve Trash Science is available online at stevetrash.com.